One take, no script. Let's do this. I don't have a name for this. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what's up, guys? My name's Eric, and if you've made it to this video somehow, then I'm probably already rich and famous by now because this is the first of a very long series that probably will get very little recognition until it's already like blown up and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Document, don't create. We all know this process. We all know what this is about. But being that I am a rapper and an artist, and we use the content of our lives in music, and part of what's so great about that is that you don't know what's coming in the music because it's so like, you know, you're supposed to be mysterious and like, oh, I wonder what he's up to, what's he been doing, you know, like shout out Kendrick, right? What he say? And they like to wonder where I've been protecting my soul in the valley of silence, something like that. And so back in the day, I say back in the day, but this is really only like a couple months now. I've been off of Instagram. I was very good about posting pretty consistently every day, just showing parts of my day, you know, on my way to work or like running and stuff like that. But I never took the time really to consistently give you guys like my thoughts and my like daily like sort of recap, if that makes sense. And like as I'm learning, as I'm growing, well, real personal growth, like literally, because Instagram isn't really built for that. Like your stories have to be very short, and because a lot of it is just very fucking personal, and I don't, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I just don't feel comfortable 100%, and also I feel like specifically with music, like you know, part of what makes the music, at least my music, so good is that I give you a lot of insight into my life through the music. So it's almost like, damn, if I just give them all the fucking sauce in these videos, then I'm just gonna be, I feel like I'm gonna be recycling it in the music. But I feel like that's just me making an excuse. And also, if we're being realistic, the majority of people who listen to my music casually are not going to watch these videos. And if you do watch these videos, maybe it'll even more so enhance the experience of the music because you'll know with 100% certainty that what I'm saying is true because it's like, oh shit, I remember he mentioned this in a podcast episode or whatever episode this is called. I have a couple different names in my head, but I'm not going to put any out there just yet. So basically, just now I was reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets, and he just really drilled home the importance of putting out daily content in the sense of document, don't create, in the sense of, you know, really give people insight into what your journey is like. If you're confident you're going to get to a certain place, then and you want to inspire others to be able to get there as well, the earlier you start documenting, the more leverage you'll have later on when you get to those levels and you reach those thresholds, because people will be able to go back and dive in and really look at all the content, look at all the stuff and be like, and become a real fan of you and hopefully be able to emulate some of the journey. So if you go on my Instagram, I've done a pretty decent job at documenting sporadically here and there since I started this music journey back in 2017. But now is when we're really turning the fuck up. So this is going to be a pretty long episode because I feel like I have so much to say and there's no edits, and I'll get an editor at some point and we're probably going to redo this episode a lot better. But for now, I'm just going to let my brain go and give you guys kind of the context of where we're starting out now. So yeah, welcome to episode 1 or episode 0, I guess. And if you watch this and you know me in real life, like either you're a coworker, you work with me, or like you're a friend, do me a favor and just don't mention that you watch this. Cause I mean, I'm a strong motherfucker. I can handle it. But that's the only other thing that I hate about like this document don't create shit is that there's people who follow my shit and who watch my shit who I know in real life who I just don't want them to know all this stuff about me. Like, not that I don't want them to know. I don't care if they know. I just don't want them to tell me that they know because then I have to deal with that feedback. And I want this to be like a really personal, like diary type stuff. You know what I mean? But I guess I can't have it all, right? If I'm going to put it out in a public forum, then I have to be ready for the feedback. But it's like, okay, so for example, in Russell Brunson's example that he used for himself, he started a podcast in his car when his business was basically like about to go under, and he was like $250,000 in debt to the IRS. He had credit card debt. He had just fired a bunch of employees. His business was on the brink of collapse, blah, 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 right? He was down bad. So he started this podcast. And he didn't know how to check how many people were downloading the podcast until 3 years into him doing the podcast. And by that time, it was like tens of thousands of people. But I'm not retarded. I can see the comments on a YouTube video. Oh, wait, I should probably put this sideways, huh? All right, well, that's going to be awkward. That whole first 5 minutes. How do I do this? It's like this. All right, that's good. Oh, shit. I just doxed myself. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know what. Okay, let's. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Fuck. Better. Anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm in the staircase of my fucking building right now because my son's asleep and I didn't want to do this in the room, obviously, and wake him up. So this is where we're at with it. Where's my camera? Okay, there we are. 6 minutes in and I still haven't even started. Episode 1. All right, cool. So, long story short, wait, fuck, I don't even know where I'm starting. Oh yeah, so that's what I was talking about. That I do know how to check the comments and the views, and I do get people who periodically like tell me, oh yo, I just saw your thing the other day, like blah blah blah, and like they give me feedback, and I guess I have to get used to it one way or another. But it's still weird and annoying, and I know I'd be much better served if I just didn't get any feedback and just put this stuff out. Maybe I should just put these out, but like leave it private and then like put it public later on. Nah, you know, bitch, my man raised a pussy. All right, cool. So if you go on my Twitter and you look for like May 2023, at some point on there, I kind of gave a breakdown of the context of why I decided I needed to like make a really hard, aggressive decision to change and like dial some shit in. So I'm not going to go into every tiny detail, but the long story short of it is my life is hell right now. And I don't mean that like to be hyperbolic. I mean that to be like the feeling of everything's on fire, bro. And like I'm just sitting in it, you know what I mean, with the dog. It's like, this is okay. Like that's been my life for the past like year and a half, 2 years. Yeah, past like 2 years. And I don't even know where to start because it's so much stuff. I guess we'll start there. Yeah, okay. So because of like just things I don't want to get into right now, you know, life has gotten really difficult and they're all my fault. So let's start there. No one has done anything to me. I don't you know, hold like, oh, if only this, that, and the third. Like, no, every decision that I've ever made has led me to this point right here. And so the long story short of it was I had been making music, or I had decided to become a musician, to be an artist, right? The day I dropped out of college, I was like, okay, this is my plan A through Z. There is no backup plan. And this is 6 years ago. And in the time of those 6 years, I've developed a lot of skills in terms of like music and shit. I learned how to produce, mix, master, engineer. I've become a really good performer. I've learned how to become a good performer. I've learned how to put content out on social media relatively consistently. I learned how to edit videos. I learned how to like just do a lot of stuff, Facebook ads, marketing, stuff like that. And I'm proud of the work that I've put in, and I'm proud of the stuff that I've developed. But if I had actually put my mind to it and like focused on the things I need to focus on, I would have been a lot further along than where I'm at now, 6 years later. I really don't have much to show for it. If you look at my stats, again, the Twitter like explains more of this, but like I barely have any numbers in terms of music. I think I have like 300 monthly listeners on Spotify. I barely put out that much music. I put out like 2.5, 3 projects really. Yeah, I just haven't been doing enough, and it all comes from a lack of discipline. It comes from a lack of mental fortitude. It comes from constantly, being caught in that cycle that a lot of us are trapped in, where it's like we get inspired to do something, we do it for a little bit, it gets difficult, we get annoyed, we get frustrated, we get sad, we give up, and then we give up and we come back to it. But because of that time in between you giving up and you coming back to it, it basically resets the clock. And so it's as if you made no progress anyways, you feel me? So thankfully the residual skills I've built up have made it so that now I basically have everything I need to become successful, because that's the whole point of this thing, right? I just want to become successful. And successful for me means being able to make music full time right now. That'd be like a huge, huge win. That'd be my first like genuine victory. But long term, like I want everything. I'm coming for everything. And I didn't start off like this. At first, I really just wanted to be. At first, I wanted to be like the best rapper, and then I just wanted to like be a like successful artist, like just be able to make music and like have fun and like live life. And then it became like a very real like, yo, okay, like holy shit, like everything is burning. Like what the fuck? I need to escape. Like I need to get out of this hellhole. And the only way I know how to do it is with music. Like I have to figure out how to escape. So that's where I'm at now. And so the first victory, but then it also became like, okay, well, if I can escape hell, then I wonder how far I can go though. You feel me? So step one is to make enough money to do music full time and quit my job. That'd be like the first real victory. And then from there, I want everything. I want Grammys. I want recognition, #1 on Billboard, like all the like really ridiculous shit that you're not supposed to tell people out loud. That's what I want. Like I want to win a Grammy, not just like with the album with like no features, but like where I produced and mixed and mastered the whole thing by myself. Like I don't know if that's possible. I don't think it's ever been done. So like imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. I think it'd be like the hugest level of like, yo, fuck you for thinking that. Not people who think I couldn't do it, but like to the universe, like to winning, as Tim Grover calls it, like the way winning like looks at you in the face and goes, you think you can actually do it? Like yeah, like destroy every metric. You feel me? Because I know the type of music I make and the lane that I'm in, people are gonna compare me. You know, I openly admit that JID taught me how to rap. I openly admit that Kendrick and Cole are, you know, the genesis, all that stuff. And I know the only way I'm going to be able to leave my mark and really impact the game is if I do some ridiculous shit like win a Grammy with an album that is 100% DIY. Like, that'd be fucking insane. So that's like long term, right? But for now, it's really just escaping out of this hellhole, which is like I'm in debt right now. I'm working a job I hate. I'm almost done with this custody battle, but for the last year and a half, I've been in like a custody battle, and yeah, and it's just rough. It's a lot going on. I had to take care of my mom, who's blind, and so she has a disability. And so me and my sister, we help take care of her. I still live at home with my mom and my sister. I don't have a bed right now. I sleep on the floor. That was a more recent thing because when I built the crib for my son in my room, it was a little bit bigger than I expected. And so I had to get rid of my bed because it just didn't fit. And at first I was just like kind of using the mattress, like I would like lift it up or whatever. But then I was just like, yeah, fuck it. What if I just sleep on the floor? And then also my mom was sleeping on like a cot kind of thing instead of an actual bed. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just give her a bed. So I gave her mine. Let's see what else. So yeah, I'm sleeping on the floor right now. But it actually feels nice, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not actually uncomfortable as much as you would think. And right now I'm doing a 75 hard, so it kind of adds to that mentality of like, oh, I'm so fucking cool, look at me. And I'll get to tell it in the story later on, like, yeah, I slept on the floor, I'm so cool, like, I was in the grind, like, but really, it's not even that bad. So, yeah, that's the general idea, that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, I'm literally in the staircase of my building, and it's like weird as hell. But yeah, that's the context. So from there, we basically get to 75 hard, which is me making a last-ditch effort to basically take all the skills that I've accumulated and focus them into actually doing something with that shit. Because like at this point, I can make songs that are good. I can perform. I can make art that resonates with people. I can edit videos. Like, it's the talent isn't the issue. Tim Grover talks about the 4 levels in order to get to like a real win. You need to have talent. You need to have intelligence, you need to have competitiveness, and then you need to have resilience. And only once you have all 4 of those things will you be able to get a real win. So talent was something I never lacked. Sue me, I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. Shout out to God. Intelligence, never really lacked that either. But I did lack wisdom. I had the intelligence but not the wisdom to actually use it. That's a whole nother conversation. Competitiveness, I've always been pretty competitive, but more so now I'm trying to like dial it in more and like really like fuck these niggas, bro. Like if they eat, you don't eat. You feel me? Like fuck that. Like it's either you or them. Like I'm trying to get more like fucked up about it, which is kind of toxic, but apparently it works. So I'm going with it. And then resilience, which I have none of, but I'm slowly building it every single day. So basically, in May, early May, I decided to start 75 Hard. Shout out to homie Dylan. He was the one that put me on. And shout out to Andy Frisella and the Real AF podcast. That whole shit is super, super dope. And I realized, I was like, okay, cool. This sounds really fucking difficult, but the results that it promises are that if you're the type of person where you know what you need to do, you just haven't done it, or you feel like you can't do it, do this program and then try it and see if anything changes. And so that's the idea. And I already feel, well, let me start with, I've already failed like 5 times, which is funny because he specifically says the first time you attempt it is your best chance at actually doing it. Otherwise, it's going to get a lot harder. So I definitely felt that early on. But the thing is, my first attempt wasn't even a real attempt. I thought that I had failed because I had read 9 pages instead of 10 pages one night. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, wait, fuck. It's like, no. It was like day 20 something. It was like 28, 29, some shit like that, 27. So I was like really mad at myself. But then I realized that I actually had never even done it properly in the first place because I didn't really stick to an actual diet. I just decided that, okay, my biggest thing that I need to work on is not eating out and only eating foods that I cook. So I don't really care about gaining weight or losing weight. I just need to discipline myself to save more money. So I was like, okay, well, as long as I buy the food and I cook it myself, then that'll be my diet. But then I realized later that does not count. So it actually made me feel kind of good because I was mad depressed when I failed. But then I was like, oh, that attempt didn't even count in the first place. And so for about a month after that, I kept attempting to like start again, but I would only get maybe a couple days in or about a week in, and I would always end up failing for one reason or another. And so finally this attempt, I'm like locked in. I think I'm on day 30 or day 31, and I'm dialed in. Like it's ridiculous. Like I know for sure I'm going to complete it. But every day I'm like making sure, I'm like, okay, stay on top of it, stay on top of it. Like this is my one only focus right now. And I decided to also add meditating into my routine as well, just because it's like, fuck it, why not? If you're building mental focus and mental resilience, you might as well, add on a little extra booster. And I can confidently say that after 30 days of doing this shit, I'm already getting so many gains. Like I finished a song that I have been working on for like 8 months. 8 fucking months, dude. Like, I don't even know if laziness is the word, because it's not like it's laziness, it's just lack of focus, lack of discipline. And now I'm getting to a point where I can sit down and be like, okay, I'm finishing this, and I actually get it done. Or if I don't get it done, I make a lot of progress. So basically, that's where I'm at in my journey. I spent the last 6 years kind of fucking around and not really getting shit done because I had a lack of urgency, a lack of discipline, and just a lot of deficiencies. And now my life has gotten to a point where, the quote, the only time you'll change is when the pain of changing, the only time you'll change is when it's more painful to stay the same. That's a simple way to put it. And I'm finally at that point where my everyday quote unquote struggle is so difficult and so painful and so frustrating that 75 Hard, although it's difficult, is the idea that completing this will get me out of this hellhole is so enticing that it makes it very, 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 very manageable and very bearable. And part of 75 Hard is to read 10 pages of a book every day. So between all the attempts put together now, I've read 3 books. And now I'm on my 4th book. So I read Relentless the first time. On my first attempt, I read Relentless by Tim Grover. And then I went into Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Relentless is amazing, phenomenal book, but Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins was kind of It felt more like motivation porn than anything else. Although I didn't actually do the the task thingies at the end of the chapters, just because, I was already doing fucking 75 hard. So I'm like, okay, I don't like, So I don't know. It was a good book though, in terms of like just reading through, just seeing how crazy that motherfucker is, and like how much the brain can adapt, how much the body can adapt to the brain if you put your mind to it. And the biggest thing I took away from it, weirdly enough, was the kill the governor concept, which is like there's a governor in your brain that governs your limits and shit like that. And whenever you're like running, especially when I'm running, but really in general, but really when I'm running though is when I go through it. And like I feel myself like wanting to stop, but I know I have more energy in the tank. I literally repeat to myself, kill the governor, like snipe the governor, kill the governor. It sounds fucked up. It's gonna sound like on some political shit, like I'm a fucking Unabomber or some shit, but I literally like kill the governor. Like I picture like a little person in my brain dying, and then I just keep running. Like I just ignore the voice, and that shit works. So shout out to you, Goggins. But reading that big ass book just for that is like, I guess it's worth it, but it's still kind of funny. So I read those 2 books, and then when on this attempt, I decided to start again. I reread Relentless one more time, but I really took my time with it this time, and I really I highlighted and I took notes and I did a lot of active reading. And then right after Relentless, I went straight into Winning, which is an amazing combo. I think Andy mentions it as well, or maybe he says only start with Relentless, but I truly believe if you start with Relentless, go right into Winning, bro, that combo, your mindset is like fucked. Like, no, like, bro, it's fucked up. Like people look at me differently now, and it's kind of weird. Like it feels good, but it's also kind of sad because it's like, damn, the person, because he mentions it, it's like, it's not that you're trying to transform, it's not that you're trying to become someone new, it's that you're trying to become the person who you were all along. And it's like, damn, a lot of people are going to think I changed, but they don't realize that I've been trying to become this person my entire life, and I just haven't been able to because of all this other bullshit that's gotten in the way that I let myself slip. So, I don't know, it's a really weird concept, but it's super cool. Anyways, yeah, so I finished those 2 books, and then I just started, like I said, Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets, because the philosophies that he teaches are the ones that I'm mostly going to be applying on a practical level, on a tactical level to my music marketing, because yeah, I just know it works, and I really believe in the whole like funnel system, but also because you're a music artist, it's not like I'm selling a course. I'm not like a coach. It's more so like just using the funnel system to bring people in, but then I still have to do the work as an artist to like show off my personality, be a leader, and like do all the other stuff. So, and this is part of it, just putting out a daily content, daily episode of sorts to get people, hooked and along for the journey. A lot of people are watching this, are gonna see this because they saw something, months or years from now that popped off, and they wanted to come to the beginning. So if you're one of those people, shout out to you. I'm really happy you took the time. I don't know what it is that I made, because I obviously haven't made it yet. But if it got you to sit through 23 minutes and 27 seconds of this horrible vlog, quote unquote, then obviously I'm doing something right, and obviously it inspired you enough to want to take a look at this. By the way, today is, well, I'm gonna upload it right now, but just in case, today is, I believe, August 3rd, I believe. Or I guess maybe it might be past midnight now. So August 4th, I don't know, we'll see, 2023. So yeah, just for context. But yeah, I think that about wraps everything up, at least for the first episode. So that's where I'm at now. Also, I'm working on a project right now. It's called RPG Volume 1. I guess I'll explain more about the RPG stuff later, because we're already 24 minutes in, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But basically, I really believe that this music project is what's going to allow me to quit my job and finally do music full time. I think like the way I'm looking at it is that the first phase of this whole project process is I have to, like I said, become financially stable. I have to get out of debt. I have to sort of like fix my life a little bit, and I have to quit my job. I have to become a full-time leader, basically, of this group, of this movement. And in order to do that, I need to make this amazing project that I'm I don't know. Some days I feel like I'm 90% done. Some days I feel like I'm 10% done. So we'll see how that goes. That would be pretty fun actually, because I can show you guys how far I've gotten into the process. Um, at this point, all the songs are written. Some of them are mixed. I think the only song that's 100% finished is Escape. I just finished it. That's the song I've been working on for 8 months. And I sent it to my videographer because we shot a video for the old version. Whatever, I'm getting too deep in the weeds. There's only one song that's completely finished right now, basically. So I have a long way to go. But I know that the project is good. It's really, really good. And it's at a level where if people who are into hip hop, if I target the right audience and they listen to it, there's no way that they're not gonna want to learn more about me. So I guess these episodes are kind of a great way to start setting up that domino effect in the future of, okay, let me think from the perspective of a new person just found my channel and maybe they just saw a YouTube video or a music video that did really well. And now they want to see the process of how I got to, you know what I'm saying, to that point. And I guess this is where they'll start. So yeah, finishing up RPG, but I was kind of half and half on it. I told myself when I started at 75 hard, I was like, okay, let me complete 75 hard. And then once I'm done with 75 hard, then I'll work on RPG. Because for the past, 6 months to a year, I've been telling myself I was going to make this project and I just haven't done it. And so I was hoping that completing 75 hard would then give me the mental discipline and the focus to be able to actually finish the project. But then 30 days in, 25-ish days in, I started really feeling that mental resilience start kicking in and that focus start kicking in. And I've actually been working on the project as I've been going through 75 hard. So although the priority is still 75 hard, like if I have to choose between making music or getting my workout in, I'm gonna get the workout in because I cannot fail this shit. There's no options. However, it looks like I'm gonna be making some progress along the way. And I guess now I'm also adding this whole episode of content to it as well, so we'll see how that goes. I promise most episodes are not going to be this long. This is just because I happen to have time right now, but a lot of episodes might just be me on my lunch break at work. You feel me? But we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I'm really excited. I hope you guys, take all this in context and understand that if I can, get to wherever I'm at the point that you know me now, whenever that is, and I can start from here. And mind you, this is me starting here. This is 6 years into me starting. Yo, that's insane. It took me 6 years to get to this point. Tim Grover, in Winning, he says that the road to paradise starts in hell. And I truly believe the first 6 years of my quote-unquote journey has been me just like slowly meandering my way to hell. And then finally when I got there, it was like, oh fuck, wait, I'm in hell. Like, I gotta get out of here, bro. So now it's like, okay, I took my time getting here, but now that I've made it to hell, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. So this is just one piece of the puzzle. And yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. See you tomorrow. Yeah. I'm actually fucking crazy. But if I pull this off, when I pull this off, this actually might be the most epic shit ever. So you're welcome. Fucking welcome. $100 million music. No, I'm playing. Shout out Alex though. Shout out Alex, bro. Those Hormozis are, it's a lot of them, man. It's a lot of great people, man. Alex Hormozi, Andy Frisella, the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron, and I actually don't know his name. What's CEO's name? I don't even know. Sorry, CEO. But what's his face? Andrew Tate. What's his name? Peter. I was gonna say Peter Douglas. What the fuck? What's his name? Jordan Peterson. Goggins, of course. What's his name? Rogan. I already said Andy, right? Andy Frisella, DJ. Gary Vaynerchuk. Nipsey Hussle. I don't know, man. There's so many people, bro. So many good, great like leaders in this shit. And like, damn, I'm gonna be one of those motherfuckers one day. Like, people are gonna put me up there with like, yeah, dude, you have to like that's insane. But I get to do it for music. You feel me? Like, that's the dopest part about this shit. When I first started, fuck it, we're still going. I know I was gonna end, but this is the last thing I'll stop on. A lot of you guys are probably early on in your journeys, right? Because that's just what did Russ say? Oh, Russ is another one, huge. La Russell as well, both of them. Um, he said the finish line is always the least crowded. I forget how the bar goes. I wish I remembered, but Tim Grover has a framework on that too that he mentioned, where it's like, it's don't worry, winning is not going to be at the start line. There's way too many people. Winning lets all you fuckers battle it out, and then at the end, when there's barely anyone, that's where winning is. Winning looks at you like, okay, you actually made it this far, fucker. Let's see if you're willing to go even further. Excuse me. And so, coming up, I remember looking at, and to this day I still do to an extent, but now my mindset has sort of shifted to where I would look at all these GOATs and these giants, Kendrick, Cole, Drake, and you're like, bro, what can I add to the game? Joey Badass, Big Pac, like, bro, like, all these inspirational motherfuckers. You're like, what can I add to the game that hasn't already been added? And I think that's where hip hop is really struggling right now, because the last time that people really fucked shit up was 2017, right? Like the classic 2016, 2017 double, and it was 2016 Cypher, right? Yachty, Kodak, Denzel, and Uzi. Legendary, right? Since then, everyone's just been kind of like meandering, right? Like, those artists have been pushing their sound, but I don't think anyone, like, no one has come up with some new shit since then. And there's been a lot of great artists, right? Like, people talk about Smino, Jid, Saba, like Mick Jenkins, like that kind of crew a lot, and they're like, oh, they just don't get the recognition. At the same time, it's like, although they're great artists, they're not adding a lot of new shit to the game to where it's new enough that it's like super impactful. And I think that's the issue that people are missing, where it's like, these guys are still derivative of X, Y, and Z. Where it's like, you listen to them, you see what they're doing, you're like, no, it's dope, it's really dope, but I still can't help but hear this person when I listen to them, or think of this person. And it's just, there's not enough degree of separation of like complete paradigm shifts across the board that are really getting people excited. And I'm at a point now where I don't know if it's, you could call it delusion, I guess, but I truly believe like I have what it, not that I have what it takes, but like that I'm going to be that guy that people look at and they're going to be like, bro, what the fuck? Like he changed the game, you know what I'm saying? He changed the way people look at music. He changed the way artists go about their come up. Now, you know how like when Russ became big, everyone started putting out a song a week. Like Russ changed the game in that aspect. But his music, I feel like wasn't, even though his approach was really revolutionary, the music wasn't revolutionary enough to actually really stick. And then also, you know, personality clashing with mainstream media, whatever. So my job now is to like, you know, stand on top of all those giants' shoulders, right? Like, make sure that the music is impactful. Make sure that the music is actually, you know, bring something new to the table while still paying homage. And then the approach being completely different to where it's like true documentation. No longer are we doing the whole like mystery artist thing. Even though I would have loved to be a cool mystery artist, like that would have been super sick. And I love my privacy. And you know, I have a fucking son. I have a family. Like I don't want y'all to know all this stuff about me. But in terms of, you know, Alex mentioned it. He was like, Hormozy, when he first started making content, he's like, damn, but like I don't want to be famous. I just want to like have my money and like chill. And he's like, damn, but if, you know, people being a little bit intrusive and, you know, being a little bit, all the stuff that comes with being like famous and like giving so much of yourself behind the scenes, that sacrifice, if that's all it's that you have to sacrifice in order to have the impact that I want to have on the world, then I'm willing to have that. At this point, I have to accept, and I have accepted that my life isn't just for me anymore. Or it is for me, but it's a sense of like, I'm willing to do all this because I know I'm not going to be here one day. And I just want to leave the biggest fucking footprint because it's like, fuck it, why not? Like, because I can. I'm a human being and we have the ability to be, you know, insane and do like crazy shit. So it's like, fuck it, why not? Let me take this shit to the absolute highest heights possible. Let me build an army of people who are so dedicated, because how can you not be when I'm, whoever I am in the future, when I'm giving you so much in-depth, behind the scenes, like step-by-step process that no one else is giving. Imagine if Kendrick gave you vlogs during the To Pimp a Butterfly camp. Like, that's what y'all are gonna get from me. Like, that's insane. And I know it sounds crazy right now because I'm at where I'm at, but for anyone who might be thinking of replicating the journey and they're trying to figure out how I could possibly have this much delusional confidence, think of it like this. When I become who I say I am, no, let's use the word if. If I become who I say I am, then this becomes the most legendary shit ever. If I don't become who I say I am, no one's gonna know this exists anyways. So I don't have anything to lose. Boom, I'm gonna upload this right now. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. 35 minutes, yeah, it's probably gonna take a while. All right, peace out, y'all. See you tomorrow.